Alright guys, today we're gonna have a look at my brand new MRW-230 Casio, I would say full analog watch, right? This is one of those sporty diving style aesthetic design Casio, just like the Casio DURO, which I already made a video before, like many years back, and then if I'm not mistaken I sold that watch. And this is the second time that I own a Casio with the same design. This is probably the affordable version of the Casio DURO, although those are already affordable enough, but this one is far cheaper. It was released early this year, surprisingly. I just found out about this recently when Casio announced to be releasing this in Japan. Turns out it's already available way back on March. So anyway, this watch is fairly big, surprisingly. When I first got it, I thought to be, a small watch, sleek, just like the GST B600 model. It didn't have a lot of function at all, so it doesn't need to be big, but fairly big. 43 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken, for the width size. The lug is 18 millimeter, which I recently bought a strap. I did not know that this thing cannot be fit in here, though I think the adapter could be plugged in. This has a 16 millimeter. Maybe I'll try that later. This is on my 6640 on the Zulu strap. The first time ever that I had a Zulu strap on my G-Shock watch. I used to own the NATO strap, but Zulu strap, it turns out to be really cool. So I'm loving this, and the color is roughly the same, so that's nice. Anyway, I'm going way ahead of myself here. Now this watch, as you can see, just featuring mostly resin parts, just like the MRW-200 series. So now, turns out with a little bit of digging, I found out that Casio made many variations of the same series. Alright, let me show you guys. This is the MRW-200 model. Okay, and then there also MRW-210, and there's also MRW-220. Right, you can see the difference already, right? And this one is the MRW-230, which I would say out of all, this is probably the sleeker design to it, so that makes this watch better, I think. But I look again at the MRW-200, there's a JDM version with the same design, sleek design, without all those 24-hour markers on there. So anyway, this one has a bit more, as you can see on the bezel, a bit more cleaner, a blue and red color there, some indicator there, much bolder. There's also an all black version and also the green version, just for the bezel only. The rest is just the same. Now this one, as you can see or hear, there's no sound at all. You could rotate it forward or backwards, and yeah, use it. I really did not get the idea behind this kind of watch, back then, because why do you need this timer where you could just see the minute hands, just watch it where it move or where it come to an end? That's your timer. But you know what? As I'm growing older, when you got a lot of responsibility, all these little things actually matters. I totally get it now. Other thing I need to point out is that this watch, well, features same resin band just like all the previous models, and they are fairly cheap. Not this cheap in price, of course. The entire thing is cheap, but it feels really cheap as well, to a point that because the bezel is built really well with the case, but when you rotate it, you could actually feel the difference in quality instantly because the strap just wobble around there. So there's that too. Anyway, take the strap out of the way here. Let me show you guys how it looks. Oh my goodness, I just dropped it, which is something I realized as well. This watch, brand new, it looked incredibly gorgeous. Like, definitely a must-have if you want a Casio, just like what we're doing here on the channel. There's a Q&Q from Citizen, there's Seiko, there's a lot of watch brands out there that release a full, like exactly the same thing, exactly the same colorway as well. I totally get it, but we're talking about Casio here, so if you're into Casio, this is a nice option, especially with that 100-meter water resistant as a first watch. I used to think that the F91W, which I think I do have as well somewhere around here, would be nice to have as a first watch because it is really cheap as well. I mean, pretty much a good beater watch. This is the F84W actually. Anyway, you get the point, similar to it. 100 meter is the best thing to have for a first timer. If you're planning to get this as a gift for someone as their first watch, 100 meter water resistance is good, so that they learn how to take care of the watches and then move on from there. You get one, right? Anyway, back to what I was trying to say with the strap. It has this similar design like this guy over here, which is similar design as a G-Shock watch, and seems like we got the same idea on a Casio as well. You could see the same idea even on some G-Shock which I got over here from 40th anniversary. Let's move on. You got a bracelet part which obviously has the same idea, but on the resins part also same idea as well. But I mean, if you try to compare the thickness of the strap, I mean, come on, the G-Shock feels much different, even with the similar thickness, but the quality on a G-Shock is just on a different level in comparison to a quality on a Casio. But it's not bad actually. When you put it on your wrist right away, you could actually feel the cheap quality to it, but the watch actually breaks to fit or contour or move around with your wrist instantly, whereas on a G-Shock you probably gonna need to wear this for about a week, maybe a month, until the strap kind of like got used to the shape of your wrist, and then it will become more comfortable as time goes. This one, 30 minutes is all you need, and then you could feel the comfort right away. So that's good, right? And it's a quartz movement watch, of course. If I'm not mistaken, SR626 battery, but a really tiny battery, but it could last for 3 years. I mean, it didn't have any button, no function whatsoever. It could glow in the dark for the hour, minutes, even the second hands, and all those indices in there, which is really, we're not gonna get this. If you ever own a lot of G-Shock like I am, Casio will never give glow in the dark indices at this price point. This like doesn't exist at all. But having that on this watch is a nice touch, but this bezel cannot glow in the dark actually. And I compare this to my G-Shock, well, not a fair comparison, but I compare this to my GPW-1000, but man, same company, but different quality, even for the lume itself. I mean, it's just like barely there at all. I could charge it up like full charge. Let me try it if the camera, I mean, look at that thing. But this one, you could barely see it. I'm charging it right now, but this one, you can see it right away, right? See, there's nothing here. That's how the difference in quality is so obvious. Anyway, other thing I need to point out, you could set the time, of course, with this crown. Pull it twice, and then you could set the minute hands like that. If you just pull it once, you could set the date display down there. Check this out. It has multilingual actually, English and also Spanish. So if you go to this day display, just lock the crown, sorry, and then we just cycle through in Spanish. So if you just change to English, and it would just only cycle with English, which is really cool. You could set the date as well with this counterclockwise rotation, and that's how you work this out, which is straightforward, easy to understand, and overall I found it to be, I like, no complaint at all. Oh, I need to point out something else. The design of the hard case is kind of cool, where it has this shapes to it over here. Notice that it creates this illusion as if the case itself is this small, but actually it is bigger. So that's kind of cool, a really nice touch, which I appreciate there. The crown well guarded as well. The watch face is really clean. Man, I own a lot of G-Shock watches, even a lot of Casio watches, but most of them always have a lot of thing going on the face. A close example with this guy over here. Look at this thing. It is sleek enough. I mean, look at the shapes there. Really vintage, really retro, like full of curve. No straight lines at all. But look at the face. You see that there's a lot going on in there, right? But this one is just clean. And for a $30 to $40 G-Shock, I have a feeling I could just remove the movement, take it out of the way, and just clean up the quartz lettering there, wipe it off with some acetone or whatnot, just make a full blacked out, like cleaner looking watch face. I could do that for the price like this. I mean, not a lot of risk going on there, like a low cost mistake, I would say. The crown, a bit more sleeker design as well in comparison to previous generation, but nothing much going on over there. Overall, it works totally just fine, and I'm liking it so far, except for the fact of that 18mm look. I prefer it to be, I don't know, 20 would be Maybe I'm asking too much for $40 Casio, so let's just forget about that. Anyway, it is so lightweight, it is so comfortable. I mean, there's no complaining at all with this watch, especially for the price. Just like every entry-level Casio, I mean, despite all their issues, but you know, for the price, you can't really complain, man. So that will be it. That will summarize all I have to say for this MRW-230 Casio Marine Timer watch. Few variations, but this is the newest version, probably the slicker looking as well. So if you haven't owned one yet, go to the link down in the description box to my affiliate links, if I could find them, and then you could purchase it, or you could just buy it anywhere. This watch is so cheap, probably available anywhere already, wherever you live. So yeah, that's it. Let's see what's next.